Trapped forever. It's kind of broken. Now I have a hole in the roof. I tried to drill through the boat. Broken the jaws of my drill. I'm in a very hole drilly mood today. Now we have a gaping hole in the side of the boat. Darling, we're on a boat. This is not our boat.
Isn't it?
No, well, it's our new boat. We've just been to Wickes to grab some more wood so we can do the front, and then Amy can start building the bed. We got Starbies and we got a very happy dog. But yeah, it's kind of broken. So yeah, we've these bits have like folded back when we've been driving. We also I managed to go through here instead of up here, so we can't open this door we can't let Bob out until the wood's off the roof.
You're trapped.
You're trapped.
Trapped forever.
Trapped forever. That's fixable, right?
Alright, we'll pick up some extra ones, remember?
Bit of wood filler. Be fine. So while my dad was here, he helped us a lot inside, but he also, I think he got a bit bored, so he started making these boxes for the solar. They're made of decking panels, the wider ones, and he's basically moulded them to the profile of the roof, and we're going to use them as storage boxes. We have similar on Friendship at the minute, but we just have one, so it's going to be really nice to have these two, and then our other two panels are going to be on swivel mounts. Yeah, so my dad actually made these brackets, so there's two parts to them. This one screws into the panel, and then this one screws onto the box, and basically when they're married together here by a screw and a wing nut, and then it means the panel can lift. The way we've done it is these are on all four corners, so it actually means the panel can be opened from either side, which is quite useful when if we're going to be on the towpath and stuff. We don't know which way we're going to be facing, and so it means we can still stand on the bank if we need to and open it, or just either side, which is quite useful. So yeah, we're going to have it just like that, and then they'll just open up on either side. Starting to put the holes in the roof for the cables to go in, and we're really precisely picking here. This is where we'll drill the hole, and the cables are going to go through here, but unfortunately I run into a couple of issues, mainly that this drill bit is definitely not designed for going through steel. We try for a while, but then I eventually have to switch to one of my metal drill bits, and I've basically scored a hole with the hole tool. So what I do instead is I use the metal drill bits to drill around that as much as I possibly can, and try to just get through the boat. This was absolutely awful. It took forever to get through, and we definitely have some different ways of doing it for the other holes that need to be drilled for the cables to come through. I'm going to start hitting it because we're pretty much there, so I just use a hammer just to break the last little bits of metal, and eventually we just managed to start getting it through. Tiny little ring of metal on the floor, which means I have a hole in the roof. And we have these two cables coming out. This is not how it's going to be. Finally, these cables will actually be up on the top, and there'll be a gland, and these cables will get done properly. I need to wait for my MC4 crimping tool to come so that I can do them nicely properly and fit them through the glands so we don't get any water leaks. I'll get the other panel on tomorrow and maybe look at the other two as well. I don't think I'll get all four done in a day, but we can try. Plan for now is, before I put solar power into the solar controller, we need to put battery power in first. That's because it needs to have its own power to be able to regulate the electricity coming in from the solar panel, so you don't put the solar panel in first, you always put the battery in first. So let's wire the solar controller up to the Lynx distributor, and then we'll wire the solar panel cables up to there. I had planned on wiring that up tonight so that the battery's at least getting some charge. However, I don't have any M8 cable lugs for the 16mm squared cable that's going from the solar controller to the Lynx distributor. So I've ordered them, they should be here tomorrow. I don't know if I have updated you actually. I've got all the electrics wired in now. Well, I have not got all the electrics wired in. I've got all of the 95mm square cable, which is the huge cable we're using. I think it's all wired in. So, got all the batteries wired in. And then the 4 cables, 2 positive, 2 negative, coming from the inverter. We have the battery isolator switch just on there. And then they go up to the Lynx distributor, as do the cables there. And yeah, so we need to wire this in tomorrow with the lugs that come in, and then the solar cables will come in, it'll go into there. We've also got the 240 to do, and we have the new the new Orion distributor, which if you remember from the old one, I'll try and put a picture on, the old one only had a single negative, whereas this has 2 positives and 2 negatives. Because in boats we don't like to run things through the hull. While we never use the hull as a return for any of the circuits, we do have everything grounded to the hull. So the original Orion that I had was the correct one, and it didn't need to have a separate ground. We only use this for things that have like electrical interference or systems that are really sensitive to things like that. So the original Orion that I had would have been absolutely fine and worked well, and it just means now that I have this one, I have to do a little bit of extra wiring just to make it work. So although the hull is ground for any stray current or any excess current, we don't use it as a common negative for everything, if that makes sense. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's kind of how it is in my head. So we will have a grounding point on the rear bulkhead, but every circuit will be a closed circuit, so everything that has a positive will also have a negative wire connected to it, and then if needs be, it will be grounded to the hull, so that if there's any stray current or anything, it will then go to the hull and be dissipated. But that avoids us getting any nasty corrosion issues or anything. That's my understanding of it. Please put in the comments if you understand it better, or if I've got anything wrong with it. Okay, start of a new day. It is Saturday, which means I'm off all day. Amy is away for most of the day. She's on a girly weekend, and she's got Bobo with her as well. So that's gonna be good. So she'll be back later. Yesterday we managed to get one. Well, the panel's on the box, but the wiring's not properly done. These aren't going to poke through. Yeah. So plan for today is to get the other solar panel mounted. I've got some stuff coming from Amazon, which will hopefully let me finish off that one and the other one. We're gonna bring those cables all the way down to the end and hopefully get them wired into there today. I don't think I'll get the other 2 panels on today. We've got 4 in total, but we'll at least get 2. We'll get them wired up and we'll get them charging the batteries, because currently the batteries are just sat there, they're not getting any charge or anything, so I want to try and give them a bit of a boost, and then we can start running the inverter, we can start running the 240 and the 12 volt things, and we can start just actually having some lights in here, being able to charge stuff in here, and just give us a little bit of a nudge forward. This is the damage from when I've put these on the roof yesterday, and I think basically if this was the front of the car where they normally are, normally I have the roof bar about here and they're tied quite tightly to it and they don't really have that much leverage, so they can't snap. Unfortunately the roof bar was right back here, so they were really, when I've put them on the roof, I've put them really far forward and not noticed. So as we were driving along, the top 2 have snapped back on themselves. Luckily, we've still got quite a decent length, and I think they are going to be damn near long enough to fit into this bit and this bit, which is where we need them to go. Hopefully, and we'll still be able to use the other bits. It's just, we're probably going to lose a few inches off either side where we just have to cut just to tidy it up, but it's not the end of the world. It's definitely a lesson learned as well, to double check things when we're putting on the roof. We did hear a noise when we were going along, and I thought it was just like the ratchet strap slapping off the board as it sometimes does, but apparently not. So yeah, let's stop waffling on. I've got the tools on the roof. Let's get the paddle up there and start trying to get it mounted. So, see you up there. Oh, there we are. So we've got good clearance. Good clearance from the spar. I'm pretty sure there's a metal spar here, so good clearance there. Pretty much in line with the other one. So both the cables will come. This one will sort of like dip around the mushroom vent. There'll be a sleeve that goes up through here, so this needs to be sort of like routed around. And the same for the further ones. But yeah, happy with that. Let's make that hole a little bit bigger. So a few weeks ago, I tried to drill through the boat, and I wasn't able to get through, but I've made a line. There's a little bit of depth on this side, but it didn't get all the way through. And I went and bought a new hole saw and still just blundered it within seconds. So we went shopping on Amazon, and I have this thing, which is a tungsten carbide hole saw, which should hopefully make quick work of it and get through. We'll find out. And I've also got some cutting compound. This helps to transfer the heat a bit better, keep things a little bit cooler, and hopefully keep this from going as blunt as quickly. So yeah, let's just see if we can drill another hole in the boat. I'm in a very hole drilling mood today, so yeah, let's get on with it. I need to open this. Slather that in there. I learned that you don't put this on the rotating bit, because otherwise it just goes everywhere and doesn't do anything. Good amount of that. Cool, so the drill bit loads into there. I don't know if it has a specific orientation. Let's flap it that way. So it lines up with it. Nice and tight. Let's drill the hole in the boat. Drills early, I like it. Okay, it has broken the jaws of my drill. There's a screw right in the bottom. I don't know if you can see it, which is a counter screw. I think that's where it's counter threaded. And we're gonna try and see if that. Oh, there we go. Lovely, nice and tight again. Let's try that one more time. My drill doesn't like this at all. You might have to go with the same solution and drill a lot of small holes to get it out. Because my drill does not like this. I might try the other drill, but probably a little closer. absolute mess, but it's done. Right, I'm gonna, there's bits of metal everywhere, so I'm gonna tidy that up and then we'll cut out this core of insulation and then we'll try and fit the plug. But yeah, chuffed with that. Didn't think it was gonna go through, and I think I broke my other drill. Probably still works, but yeah. Cool. Job done. Well, started. Hey, boat. That is some thick insulation. That little bit of metal needs to come off. Oh, like a glove. Lovely. And once that's in place, be able to just twist that, lift that up. And the power lead should sit nicely in there, and we're actually away from any water ingress or anything, so that's a lovely place for it. The rain has put a stopper to that for now. It's like on and off, quite heavy rain. So we're going to leave that and then come back to it. I need to wire the cable anyway, so it's not finished. And I'm actually struggling with the socket. I don't have a 7mm deep socket that'll go all the way to the end. I have an 8mm socket, but I think that's a little bit too wide. And I just can't really get it to close properly. So I'm probably gonna cut the bolts down because they're very long. They're like that long, and they don't need to be. Cool, so our Amazon package has arrived. We should have some things to finish some jobs up. Cool, so we got some metal files. That's gonna help tidy up the holes that I've made in the roof and also the holes that I've just made for the shoreline. The 16mm squared cable to M8 lugs, which are going to be for the solar cables. Self-tapping screws in various sizes, just for attaching the glands to seal the cables in. And this should hopefully be. Oh, it's got a bag. This should be, yeah. So this is our MC4 crimping tool. Yeah, so this will help us make our MC4 crimps. These are the little ferrules that go on the end of the cables. These are our pairs of solar connectors. I think this one will hold the female connector, even though it's the male connector. I think this will hold the female. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. So on these ones, I don't think you can see. But basically, that's the female connector inside the female ferrule inside the male connector, and that's the male ferrule inside the female connector. So that's the way we'll do it. So plan for now is we've got all the stuff that we need. I want to tie these cables up first. I want to get the solar as the priority today. Now we have a gaping hole in the side of the boat on the back. Need to fix that before the end of today, but that's fine. Need to sort these two holes out. Tidy these holes up. Get the cables running through them. Get the glands sorted. Make up the solar cables. Run them all the way to the back of the boat. Hook them into the solar connector. Hook the solar connector in the batteries. Then hook these into the solar connector, solar charger, through an isolator, so that we can start charging the batteries and getting some power from them, which will be good. Then we'll go back to doing the shoreline. First of all, cup of tea, absolutely knackered, gasping for a cuppa. Gonna go and grab that now, sit down, maybe have a chill for 10 minutes, half an hour, and then come back, continue, crack on. Yeah, we're making good progress today, absolutely chuffed. So yeah, let's keep that going, but do need a cup of tea to help continue that progress.